Good morning, Good morning, Periscope. How you doing? It's Belina. Today we talking about a dressed up success but a private mess. Some of us is walking around here with scars that run so deep that if they did surgery on us, they could not remove those scars because we run around with scars that happened to us, with things that happened to us from when we was young, when we was little people. And what happens is we'll dress it up. We'll come out in public. We'll smile. We'll put on a front. We'll put on a face. But in the inside, we are being destroyed. What happens is it's destroying, good morning, it's destroying our marriages. It's destroying our children. It's destroying our homes. It's destroying our jobs. Good morning. It's destroying our lives because some people don't want to get to the root of the problem. They don't want to get to the root of why they're emotional disturbed. They don't want to get to the root of the problem, so why they walk around here stressed out and depressed out. They don't want to get to the root of the problem as to what is really going on because everything has a bigger picture. You just got to look real deep to find out what's going on. Stop dressing up and coming in public and putting on the front for people because you're hurting. Well, let me talk about myself. I used to be like that. Nobody else know how to talk about themselves. I used to be like that. You dress up, you do your hair, you put on your sunglasses. Like I said yesterday, you walk around grinning. You go to church, you shout all over the place, but then when you get back home, your life is a mess. Your life is in turmoil because you close that door and can't nobody see you. That is not good. Stop being a dressed up success and a private mess. You will never get right if you keep on doing that. You have to sit down and figure out what is going on in your life. You deserve better. I'm at a place in my life now where that I want to keep on telling people, if you transform your mind, everything else in your life is going to fall together, come together. If you transform your mind, abandonment issues, divorce, remarriage, breakups, children acting up, job acting up, family acting up, don't like your mother, don't like your father. You think people are hypocrites. You think people are talking about you. Dress up success, but a private mess. We have to stop that. We have to get to the root of the problem. Some of our scars run so deep that we have actually blocked out what is going on. Yesterday, I talked to a gentleman, and I had to actually tell him, listen, your problem is bigger than your wife. Your problem is bigger than you. Your problem started from when you was a child. Your problem started when you was a child. You got to sit down and think back as far as you can to when things were happening to you. Like I said a couple of months ago, the abuse that went on in my house, now that I think about it, it really, really disturbs me. It don't make me upset anymore, but it disturbs me because I'm 50 years old and I did not figure out what was going on with me till I was 35 years old. So you talking 15 years ago. And I'm not ashamed, like I said, to talk about my issues. I'm not ashamed to talk about my problems. But it took me some time to get here. And I'm saying to you, whoever's watching, whoever's listening, it will take you some time to get to that point to figure out what is going on with you. But first and foremost, you gotta ask God to help you to learn how to forgive yourself because whatever you went through was not your fault. Whatever happened to you was not your fault. Whatever you had to endure was not your fault. It was always an adult at the forefront. It was always somebody older than you that caused your pain, that caused your problems, that caused your issues. Sometimes we don't want to face that because we love our family. We love our mother. We love our father. We love auntie and uncle and them. But I'm going to talk like Oprah Winfrey said on The Color Purple. I've had the fights all my life. I ain't fighting no more. The fight in me is over. I'm going to fight for Belina now. I'm going to fight for a better marriage. I'm going to fight for my grandchildren. I'm going to fight for my children. I'm going to fight for my husband. I'm going to fight for those who can't stand up for themselves. I will scream at the top of the hills that stress, depression, and everything that most adults is going through, it started from a very young age and nobody ever talked about it. Nobody ever said anything about it. But it's okay. You sit down and you talk about what's going on with you. And then if you have loved ones that you start telling your stories to, and you start telling them about the scars that's underneath your clothes, the scars that run so deep because you covered them up. What you need to do is tell that loved one, don't ever throw this back at me, because now I need to talk about it. I need somebody to hear me. I need to hear myself say what really happened to me, the vicious cycle that I had to go through. I need you to love and support me. I need you to encourage me. I need to feel and know that I'm safe, that you're going to protect me. You're not going to hurt me. You're not going to throw it back at me, because that's the worst thing a hurt person can have happen to them, is that they tell their story. And then what happens is the person who they told it to, because they thought that person loved them, turns that story back at them and throw that story back at them about, so look what happened to you when you was younger. Look what happened to you when you was a teenager. Look what happened to you when you was with your last relationship. Please, people, when your family members come and talk to you, or if you got to just talk to somebody, please make sure you talk to the right person. I thank God for my husband, because when I unleashed the vicious cycle that I had to go through as a child and coming up through my teenage years and my adult years, I have not yet to hear him throw it back at me. He lets me vent. I will out of nowhere. We could be looking at a TV show and something happens on that show, and I will just start venting about what I went through in my household, what I went through as a child. And then I have to catch myself and I get real quiet, because now I'm thinking, oh my God, I really went through that. Why did I have to go through that? But I swear on today, I knew I had to ask God to help break the generational curse and the vicious cycle that I went through. Because hurt people hurt people. Hurt people don't want to see nobody happy. Hurt people don't want to see nobody succeed. Hurt people don't want to see you get the house. Hurt people don't want to see you get the advancement on your job. Hurt people don't want to see you with the brand new car. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people will key your car. Hurt people will want to fight you because they upset not with you, but the bigger picture that they won't talk about. Stop being a dressed up success and a private mess. This is serious. People are killing people. Families are being destroyed because an individual in their household has been messed up. They have been messed up in their life, and they take it on that individual. But again, like I said, it is a vicious cycle. I mean, when I talk about watching TV programs, I love CSI, I love SUV, I love cop shows, I love 48 Hours, I love Fatal Attraction, I love Snapped, I love these kind of shows. And when you look at stuff like that and see what these people go through, and you say to yourself, or I say to myself, thank God, but for the grace of God, everything I went through, I was on a vicious cycle that I could have actually killed somebody. I could have actually took somebody's life because of what I went through. I could have had somebody else killed because of what they did to me. And trust me, like I said, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, that's what I was going. That's where I was going. I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because of what people did to me. You hold all that anger in, and it festers, and it festers, and it festers. So then you meet the wrong person who will tell you, look, who hurt you? I'll go get them, and won't nobody even know. And you start to think, well, God, I want them to hurt like I hurt. But then I have to catch myself and say, God, that's not right. That is not right. And I was thinking like this at the age of 21 and 22 because of what people did to me. I wanted them to hurt the way I hurt it. Dressed up success, but a private mess. I had a job, everything, had everything going for me, but I still wanted that person to hurt. Stop it. You got to want to stop the vicious cycle. You got to want to unleash those scars, but unleash them on the right people and at the right time. And ask God daily to give you strength to forgive yourself and to forgive those people who have hurted you. People, places, and things. God will allow you to forgive yourself and to forgive them. Stop being a dressed up success. You could put makeup on to cover it up. You could put all the weave you want in your hair to cover it up. You could put on $1,000 pair of red bottom shoes. You can get your Gucci pocketbook and your fur coat. But when you go home, you got to take off all that stuff and you start to see the scars of life. The scars that have tried to take you down. But I declare on today, we are more than conquerors. The devil is a liar. Everything that we have been through was not for us. It was not our fault. We were not the people to blame. Today we are not the victims, but we have victory. We got victory over everything everybody did to us. Abandonment change, like I said, abandonment issues. I mean, it's just crazy. I sit back and think about everything that I had to go through in life, and I see other people with the same issues. And when you try to sit down and you tell them, you know, I know what you're going through because I've been there, done that. When you tell them that, be prepared to start telling your story. Be prepared to start telling your story. You cannot lie to people and say you walked in their shoes and you never walked in their shoes. You cannot tell me about mental abuse if you was never abused mentally. You cannot tell me physical abuse if you was never hit by a boyfriend or you was never beat unmerciful by your parents. You can't tell me about sexual abuse if you was never molested or went on a date rape with a guy who you thought loved you. You can't tell me about verbal abuse if you was never cursed out from A to Z. Don't do it. You got to be honest with people, and you got to be honest with yourself. Periscope family, on today, have a God great day on purpose, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.